It is a beautiful day here at the Reboot, a beautiful day here in Eastern Ontario, and you can tell what's on my mind. This could be the last day that I could go kayaking this year. So, with the temperature about 80 degrees, that's about 28 degrees Fahrenheit, I think it's time to get this down to the water. That's better. Right location, let's go kayaking. Blue, you coming? Come on. Come on. Nice, Blue. Let's go. Come on. Blue, come on. Oh, it's a beautiful day out here. Water's not too cold. You want to hit the camera. Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Reboot. I want to give you a short little video, give you an update about what I'm trying to get done here in the next 2 to 3 months, really before the heavy snow starts to fly in December, late December. As I mentioned in the last video, and as you saw me, I'm starting to clean up this area here. I want to get rid of these offcuts, and I also want to mill up these ash logs. I believe I'm going to have my hands on some oak and maple logs, maybe in the next 30 days, maybe 5 or 6 nice 20-inch diameter logs, maybe anywhere from 10 to 12 feet long. Hopefully that happens, because it'd be nice to get some more hardwoods to mill up on the sawmill here. And as I head over here to this part of the property, you can see I've still got the Roman siege tower here. That's the scaffolding that I made to complete much of the soffit work and the gable end steel there on the pole barn. I'm going to need that again. I've got a couple of things I need to fix up on the roof. That scaffolding right there, the Roman siege tower, gives me a lot more ability to get up on the roof safely, believe it or not, and adds to my comfort level, which is quite important. But I want to tell you about what I've got going on here. We had a wow, what was that? That was like 17 metric tons at one point, this gravel pile here. As you can see, I've built a little trail that heads towards the back acres. My son and I rented a small Kubota backhoe a couple weeks ago. There's going to be a video on that in the coming week or so, in terms of creating more access to the back acres. So I've got some more gravel work to do there. But the other thing I want to tell you about is some of the stuff that I'm doing with the shed here. Now, those of you who are familiar with the channel, you know that the main objective of this shed was to create a spot for me to keep all my tools while I built the pole barn. Well, there's really no longer a great need for the shed. I'm not going to tear it down, but hopefully the light will work. Now, the first thing, of course, is there used to be a very large stack of boards here, which I've moved inside, so they'll continue to season, so to say, dry a little bit more, and I'll tell you what I'm going to be using those boards for in a minute. Let's go inside the shed here. Again, the main purpose of the shed was to try to get this block in place here to hold the door open. The main purpose of the shed, let's see if the light adjusts. It usually does. This phone's pretty good. Yeah, that's not bad. So I'm now inside the shed. The shed itself is 16 feet long, 10 feet wide. And like I said, the main purpose was to be able to shelter my equipment and tools and all the things you need to do a building project out of the weather. And if you take a look at the ground behind me right now, it's cluttered in here. It's not that well organized, but it's pretty empty. There was a time where there was only about an 18-inch wide pathway to that door into the back area that's insulated. There's a 6-foot section of the back part there that I insulated so that I'd have a place to go on cold winter days when I was out here. So I am going to clear this area out in the coming days and insulate the rest of this shed, therefore giving me a bit of a cabin, if I can say that, out here on the property, and also a sort of office, if I can call it that. I could definitely go inside the pole barn here and create an insulated office, but I'd like to try to keep the floor space there open for use in terms of, you know, activities, be it cutting wood, working on various projects, parking my vehicles, parking trailers, tractors, etc. I'd like to keep the floor space open for that. I'd like to insulate that, and I'm going to come to that in a minute, but at the end of the day, I'd like to create a little cabin here and yeah, almost use it as a so-called cabin and an office for my property out here. So this will probably take me a week to bang out. I'll put a video or two together about that and let you know, guys know how that's going. I'm going to add a window or two. I'm going to take that door there and make it the main entry door. So I've got a little framing to do to move these things around, and I'll put, I think, like a sliding barn door style door into that back area there. So that's one plan. And then the other plan is to come over here, of course, to the big project, the big ongoing project here at the Woodland Reboot. And it, of course, involves the pole barn. If you're new to the channel, the pole barn is 32 feet by 48 feet. Check out the link up here where you can go and see the number of videos that I put together in terms of this build process. I pretty much built the pole barn by myself. I had the help of my father on a few jobs, and I had a friend, Michael, who helped me hang much of the siding, and my wife came out once in a while to help as well. But what still needs to be done to this pole barn, let's head in the man door here. And it's quite unorganized in here. I still consider this to be a construction project, but it's not insulated. It's not wired for lighting or electrical. So those are the next two big things that I'd like to undertake with this project here. Again, working on it the way I work on it, insulating it, both the walls and the ceiling, as well as wiring the building and putting in some heating. That would probably take me easily into the better part of next summer. So I'm not going to rush through that. I've got to do some homework in terms of how to do wiring properly. The last thing I want to do is get involved in any kind of activity that creates a hazard here. I've got a friend, not a friend, but someone we know who is a licensed electrician who is going to give me some guidance on what to do in terms of electrical wiring for the building. So we'll see that unfold in the coming months as well. And some other videos that I have in the lineup in the coming weeks. I've done some repairs to the Ford 9N. I had a leak with the hydraulic pump cover, which is underneath the bottom of the tractor there. So I had to pull that out and replace seals and do the hydraulic fluid. And as you've seen already, I've got out the first video on repairing some of the rust damage on the pickup truck. There's a remaining video on that, which I need to get out. So there are a few things that I've got in the pipeline in terms of videos that I need to get finished and out the door. I've got these projects that I've mentioned that I want to get done. Number one, I want to get the shed insulated and ready for the winter months. As I said, kind of convert that into a little cabin. I had thought seriously about moving the shed, you know, having a guy come in who has a shed company, move it for me. I'd put a proper foundation in place and then drop the shed back on top. But I just don't think it's worth it. The bottom of the shed's pressure treated lumber. It's on a solid gravel foundation as it is right now. And in terms of moving this shed, I'd have to detach this lean-to that I've built on it. So I just decided that it's not that necessary. A little bit messy around the edges of the shed and this lean-to. I'm going to be cleaning this up as well. That's part of the project, part of the process, and building out this access road to the back acres. So some of that again here in the fall. I think I'm going to get myself, I'm going to rent that small Kubota tractor again to finish moving the gravel pile, but also to clean up some things in the back acres and create some more access back there. All right, guys, there's a bit of an overview in terms of where I am right now with these projects here out at the Reboot property and where I'd like to see things go in the near future. And there, of course, is Blue, the brown dog we call Blue, who lives out here at the, or who joins me out here 2 to 3 days a week when I come out to the Reboot property. See, guys, right now I'm walking down this new pathway that I've built. And so what we use the small Kubota tractor backhoe for was to actually break a hole through this fence line here. As you can see, it's pretty overgrown on each side, and so we broke through here, eliminating what was essentially about, I'm going to say, an 18-inch ridge, smoothing it out, although it doesn't look all that smooth right now, smoothing it out, widening it so that I now have access to this backfield, which then leads to another access point a little bit further on, and I'll take you over there. And here we are in the back acres. I have trails that run back that direction. I could take the truck back there, but no need to right now. Beautiful sky out here today. And I don't know if you can see it there, but I've got a trail that heads out back that way too. It's actually a big loop. Goes in around back there and comes back out. And you can get back down to the corner of the property by heading down that trail. That one's a little narrow. I don't think I get the truck through there. Definitely get through there, but not today. So, like I said, I have access to the back acres now in case I do decide to build anything back here. At least I have warm weather access. I have summer access, fall access. I'm pretty mushy to try to get back here in springtime, and without any kind of path. Obviously, winter and springtime are out of the question. But there you go, cleared a path, have access to the back acres. Should allow me to enjoy these back acres a little bit more. All right, everybody, I hope you're doing well in these very strange days and times that we live, and I hope you're enjoying the channel. Please subscribe, like, and share, and come back and enjoy the activities in future weeks and months. Thank you.